If you're a speaker and you're booking your own gigs and you're booking your own travel and you're doing all the logistics for yourself, you need to listen to this video because you're making a big mistake and it's an easy shift. And here's what it is. So I work with a lot of speakers, and most of them in the beginning, you start doing everything yourself, which is pretty natural for any business owner. But the thing that you have to do as a speaker is you can't be everything, just like you can't be in any business. But speakers, for some reason, hang on the longest. So, so if you're still booking your own gigs and you're still booking your own travel and you're making all the arrangements and you're all doing all this and you're hectic just before you get on stage, it's holding you back from really getting paid better and delivering your impact on a much higher scale. And so, one of the first things that you need to do as a speaker is you need to know what to ask for in your gigs, and you need to be as willing to walk away from a gig as you're willing to walk into it. Because if you're not getting paid enough, it just doesn't make sense. And if you're a speaker, you can relate to this. After you get done, so yeah, I'm making 3 grand. I'm making 5,000 for this talk. So you fly across the country, you stay in a hotel for 2 days, you rent a car from the airport, you book your ticket, you got all your food, some of your food supplied for you, sometimes a room supplied for you if you're lucky. But you got all these expenses that are going on. Plus, you're doing all the logistics to get all of it done. The stress and the cost of it, by the time you get back, if you really take the time, which most speakers won't because they're booking the next gig, to figure out exactly what it is that you made on that, you're probably making around 1,500 bucks, right? So, not enough for that amount of time that you're putting in now. And so if you start thinking about all your expenses that you incur on the average talk, that's a good starting point. That's a baseline. And then what is it that you need to make? How many talks a month can you really honestly give? A busy speaker who has a team can give 2 to 3 talks per week for about a month. And then they want to take a couple weeks off to recharge, make adjustments, but recharge. Now, be you should not be prevented from being able to do that. Even if you work 2 weeks, have a week off, have 2 weeks off, work 2 more weeks. But you need to figure out what that number is so that you know what you need to ask for. And if you don't know how to ask for it, there's a simple way to get the wording and the messaging. It's all about building that value, and it's about finding the speaking gigs. There's a ton of speaking gigs out there. There's a ton of people that can help you find speaking gigs. I would start with your speakers association. That's a good place to start. You can also just search online. And if, in the advent of AI, chat isn't perfect, but it'll give you some good ideas on where you can start and what you can do and maybe who to contact. Right. But again, you shouldn't be doing it. So before I get too much further, if you like this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel. I work with course and program creators and speakers and help them grow a business that's successful and profitable that doesn't take you doing all the work. And so back to speakers. Again, if you're doing all this, what you need to do is you need to figure out, what do I need to charge so I can replace myself? The first place you start is with an admin person that can book your rooms, book your car, book your hotel room, get everything together for you so that you can just eliminate that. That's about 10 hours of work, unless you're really efficient at it. And most of you aren't that I speak with anyway. And so if you want to save up to 10 hours a month, have somebody book and do all your logistics for you. Now, the magic happens when you hire that person that can do the outreach for you, initiating that outreach. Maybe you hop on the calls, you do the live booking, but you don't do the setup of that. there's another 10 hours at least. But this is the place where you get the most frustrated or you don't do enough of it. And it's because you're a creative, and creatives don't like to sit with monotonous detail or repetitive detail over and over and over again. We want to create. I want to be on stage. I want to move around. I want to connect with the people, feel the energy. Sitting here looking at a computer trying to figure out what's the best price, where do I got to stay, all that, that's not high energy. Trust me, that sucks the energy right out of you, right? So what you want to do is you want to figure out your pricing so that you can afford to hire the admin to do the logistics for you. And you can start looking for that next person that's going to start getting the initiating conversations and booking them for you to start booking the right gigs for you at the right price. Once you know exactly what you need to charge, it's much easier to walk away from it than wondering, oh, should I take this because I'm desperate? No, be willing to walk away as quickly as you're willing to walk into a gig if they're not willing to pay the price. There's too many gigs out there right now that would, uh, there's no need. So follow this rule, start there, get all your prices together, right? Figure out what it is that you're spending on your average talk, your average gig. And then what is it that you want to get paid, right? And start at least asking for that amount, even if you're going to keep doing the work. But if you're not going to keep doing the work, then figure all that out and then talk to someone who knows what they're talking about that can help you determine what level of person that you need in that position. Please don't do a startup person. Don't go cheap. Don't go 3, 4, 5, $6 an hour unless they're really, really good at what they do and you don't have to train them very much. And what I mean by very much is pretty much not at all. They already know what they're doing. They just have to learn your system and your way of delivering it to you. But so you want to up level that higher, which means that you need to figure out what they cost so that you can find those speaking gigs that pay that amount of money. Now, it may seem like it takes more time in the beginning, but it's worth putting the effort in and getting this because once you start getting those 7, 8, 9, $10,000 gigs, you can find they attract more of them. So follow this rule, get yourself at least clear on what it is that you need to charge so that you can stop doing those $1,500 speaking gigs and then coming home and feeling broke. All right, thanks.